Check, check. 1, 2. Oh, it's already recording. Welcome back to another game of intermediate chess, everybody. Where I play through some rapid games, talk through my thought process in the opening, middle game, and God forbid we make it to an end game. And hopefully we learn something along the way. So we're just gonna go ahead and start a game up here, if it'll let me. It appears not to be letting me do anything. Let's refresh. Oh, you're seeing my email. Okay. So it appears to be a little broken, unable to load games, blah blah blah. Okay, there it goes. Alright, so if you've been playing with us or watching this for a little bit here, we've been on a bit of a winning streak, so hopefully we'll be able to keep the momentum going. We crossed 1400 not too long ago. We crossed 1452, which is awesome. And we're steadily making it all the way up to 1500, and we got our opponent making a move, e4. And so part of what I'm going to be doing here is also talking through my preferred opening repertoire, which is c6 Caro Kann. We're just going to go ahead and put that on the board. And our opponent is quick with a knight to f3. The part of the Caro Kann is you pretty much almost always push the d5 pawn here, and we're just going to go ahead and do it. Since they got their knight out, another common thing that we're going to see, we're going to take back in the center. So part of also the Caro Kann idea is that they now only have one pawn in the center. We still have the potential to put in two. We're going to pin the knight. If you've seen these videos before, part of the idea with the Caro Kann is getting the white bishop out, the light square bishop out early, and trading it off either with the light square or potentially this knight. The Caro Kann structure is similar to a French, where this bishop is stuck behind this pawn, so we don't mind. We get the same pawn structure, but we don't mind trading off this bishop. They're going to get their queen out. We're going to, again, just reinforce the center right now, and we're just going to take it from there. We'll go ahead and develop this knight. They might go ahead and try to pin us. This is all pretty standard stuff. We're going to continue to develop, nothing too crazy or fancy. We'll trade off the dark squared bishops. I don't know how I feel about that now that I say it out loud. They have a light squared bishop, which is okay. Now they don't. We're going to take back with the pawn. And again, part of this idea is we trade off all the pawns. We're going to put all of our, or we're going to trade off the light square bishop. We're going to put all of our pawns on light squares. And that's just kind of the general idea with the Caro Kann. I'm contemplating whether or not now to develop the rook with a little bit of a tempo. Not a crazy tempo, but a tempo nonetheless. And if I were to get my knight out, I'm trying to decide either here or here, e7 or f6. If we go e7, we have the potential for f5, putting some pressure on this pawn, their last pawn in the center. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll eventually castle. I still always have this if I want to get a little bit more developed or get my rook on the semi-open file. They don't have a lot of places to put their knight. They have a bit of an outpost over here, which could be annoying, but that's why we are also going to put some pressure on that pawn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can see them castling. Yep, that's what they do. If I were to play this now, they'll just move their rooks to protect it, and I'm just going to go ahead and castle, completing our development. And they preemptively are defending this pawn, which is totally understandable. If I were to move here, I can imagine here. And then what? Then we play chess, it seems. Um, yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. And yeah, that is where we are at. I'm trying to decide if there's any other things we want to do. Yeah, like, well, one of the things for middle game, because we're pretty much out of the opening at this point. We played all that pretty quick, to be honest. I had one long think over here. And part of, now that we're out of the middle game, we got to start thinking about, out of the opening, we got to start thinking about middle game stuff. And one of the concepts that I've been trying to internalize is the idea of the least active piece and trying to activate it. And I feel like this is the least active piece. This one's pretty unactive, this one's pretty inactive, but I mean, we haven't moved this rook. So let's just also just go ahead and get that completed on as just the next thing to do. Something that we can think about is doubling up on the semi-open, which I'm actually contemplating quite a bit here. I'm thinking that's actually a pretty decent move. So we're going to do a bit of a rook lift. Okay, they're going to probably try to plant themselves here. But if we get here, this becomes an available tactic for us. Let's see. Let's think that through. Here, then yeah, we can just take. However, if here, then they'll probably move up here. I was thinking of taking here, but then they just move, and then what? Is there anything that I can do? Or anything that I should do? I suspect not. I suspect there's not a whole lot for me there. I'm gonna go ahead and develop this piece. So if they did end up putting their knight here, they're probably going to have to defend going like this. Yeah. So now, if they were to go here, we could take this pawn like so. So that's an idea for us. So let's just go ahead and do this idea real quick. Okay. So yeah, they have an extra piece over here. Okay. Now what? Now what? What is the moves? What are the moves? Are there moves? What would they be? I'm thinking of moving up here just to get my rook out of getting not pinned, but attacked nonetheless. It also helps us if they wanted to trade the queens, which I am not super stoked for. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Also, okay, so yeah, they go ahead and do this idea. But yeah, it doesn't really do a whole lot for them. I'm understanding this position, right? This queen being here is pretty annoying now. They could move here eventually too, which is an idea, but I mean, I guess I'll just move out and it's all fine, right? Nothing too crazy. I'm uncertain. I mean, I feel like I'm making progress, but at the same time I'm not, you know? Something I'm thinking of is maybe pushing this pawn. It weakens my center a little bit, but it puts pressure on their center quite a bit. If they were to take, we could take back their knight. Or actually, we'd probably take with the queen, so that, because we'd be getting hit. So here. Yeah, I think that's fine. This pawn is still defended. This rook is still pretty inactive. This knight is fine for the time being, I believe. And then again, put some pressure over here on the center. So we got a little tension going on here in the center. That's what we're looking at. If they were to try to do something against our knight, we would just take, and we'd be sitting pretty because they would have to take with a heavy piece, and we could take back and be up an exchange. Our opponent is playing much quicker than we are, so we might have to step it up at a certain point, which is always a little hectic. But luckily they are now getting into a bit of a think. They've been making moves all less than 10 seconds, which is, fine and dandy. They're rated 1304, and yeah, we're up to the 1450s, but it still gets tricky, and a lot of people at this rating level might be better than their rating suggests. Just a few blunders here or there, and all of a sudden you're below 1300, but you can play like a 1600. I definitely feel like I've been there before. Okay, they're opting to attack the rook, as I had imagined before. We're just gonna attack them back. Okay. I'm thinking I can just take, right? I can just take. Put some pressure on this piece, or on their queen, or should I take, if I were to take with the knight, I mean, is there a follow-up? Ooh, yeah, there is, if they don't do something about it. It's a pretty nice follow-up, too. I don't know if they'll see it. It'll be a royal fork over here. But yeah, we'll give it a little bit of time, see what happens. So yeah, but if they see it, myriad of ways to defend it. Either with the rook, I could see them even doing like a rook lift of their own. That'd be pretty annoying. And if, okay, yeah. So, oh no, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. So this might be it for our opponent. We'll just double check that this does what I think it'll do, right? Right? I'm not crazy. We're just gonna go for it. Those knights can be tricky once they get into the center. Yeah, I think this is gonna be it for our opponent. I mean, obviously they can keep on going if they're so inclined, but yep, there it goes. So good game to our opponent. That was a pretty quick one. But it's been roughly 13 minutes of the recording. The last couple of games that we've played, have gone almost up to 100, or not 100, an hour from playing more than one game. So I might just keep this one short for today. Pretty standard, or kind of a standard Caro Kann, with some interesting things, especially other things that I've been struggling with. So, and it was 20 some odd moves. We'll go ahead and review the game and call it a day for today. One of the things that I'm trying to do with this series is recap at the very least, the first 5 moves of the opening. So before I get into the review, I'm going to try to do that right now. So our opponent, e4, we played the Caro Kann, which is c6. They played knight f3, which is relatively common. You'll see it eventually at some point during the Caro Kann. We did d5. They e takes d5, and then c takes d5. We're still on the third move, and this is more of the exchange Caro Kann. They played d4. We play bishop. We pin. That's g4, right? I gotta open up. G4. Okay, I think we got that. I'm gonna count it because we're just talking about pinning that knight that's on f3, g4. That makes a lot of sense. So g4, and what does our opponent do after that? G4. Do they try to kick us out? No, I don't think they try to kick us out. What do they do? Now maybe they do, and we take? No, that's not right. Maybe it is. Or maybe they tried to kick us out? Because we took it pretty quickly. And then did they take with the... No, because I thought they had traded the light squared bishops at some point, right? No, they pin our knight. Okay. At a certain point. Okay, so no. Okay, no. I'm wrong. Okay, hang on. D4, C6. No, E4, C6. E4, C6. That's the first move. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm not gonna count like this. Um, C4, E4, C6, Knight F3, D5, E takes D5, C takes D5, D4, D4. But then what and then we pin, and then we pin. G4, or does yeah G4, and then what do they do? Cause I'm pretty sure I do. Um, no, I guess they tried. Okay at this point. Yeah, it's got to be H3, and then we take, on F3, and then Queen takes on F3, and then we play Knight C3, and then they play Bishop B. Or no, I said C6, and then they play Bishop B5, or like on the sixth move. And then, oh yeah, no, this is right, because then they do the bishop out. Bishop to is that F4, F4? Then I think I've lost the plot here a little bit. Let's recap and try to figure out if we were right there. Let's also take a look at just the game review and see what it has to say about how we played. Real quick. So yeah, chess is the art which expresses the science of logic. Who's that? Mikhail Botvinnik? Is that what it said? Wow, it was pretty even there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden there were a couple blunders. I'm not quite sure if this was me or them. We scored an 83, which I am all about being a solid B student. And yeah, we'll take a look. So yeah, only a couple of book moves. We had a great one. Yeah, we did have a blunder. Our opponent had two blunders though, so it was kind of sloppy. Although it's scoring us pretty high, even though there was a miss and a blunder. I guess it's saying that we didn't have any mistakes or inaccuracies. We just had one major mishap at a certain point. So we'll take a look at that. It looks like that's up here. I am not surprised. I got a little risky there. But yeah, let's take a look at the move order here. So E4, C6, Caro Kann, F3, Knight F3, D5, E takes, C takes, D4. Then yeah, Knight G4. Okay, yeah. So I was pretty right. So at this point, yeah, H3. Okay, and then we take, and then they take back with the queen. Then yeah, I missed this. I missed in my own move order the E6. Kind of finalizing the pawn chain here, and then then the bishop out. We develop the knights, and then more pinning. We trade bishops. We right click accidentally. And then yeah, we take back with the queen. They opt to take with the bishop just to get that out of the way. So at this point, yeah, we've been pretty super standard and super even. You can kind of see the eval bar down here is just keeping an even keel. It might be starting to trend toward our side of things. We have zero point 0.3 advantage, which isn't anything, but I'll definitely take it at this point in the game. They castle, we castle, best moves. Wow, look at, okay, so at the end here, you can actually see how insanely sloppy it became. So yeah, they develop their rook. We do the same thing essentially. Talking through a lot of moves. It didn't. Computer didn't like this move from our opponent. It didn't like this from us either. This isn't a mistake, but there was something better. So let's try to figure out what we could have done. Um, this was something that I was contemplating for a little bit, but yeah, it didn't really do a whole lot for us. Um, it's common to do this pawn break here as well. I wasn't in love with it because I thought that it would weaken the B file over here. Okay, hang on, give me one quick second. Okay, but let's see if that's what it wanted from us. Yep, it is. Because, I mean, now that I'm looking at it in this regard, I mean, we have it covered. There was this, but then we could have just taken back, I guess. Um, but yeah, we ended up, this idea of trying to double up. And, we're proceeding on that side of the board. We double up. They protect. I'm kind of surprised that this is fine. I'm happy. Um, yeah, now their pawn is now lost. Are they talking about this one? I'm not sure because this next move it's saying is a miss. You only missed the only critical move. So I missed something. Is it just a take? How? Because if they take queen c, oh yeah, because I guess yeah we could just take it back. Ah, so silly. I Yeah, because then they still would have lost a defender. So this all still the original idea was still pertinent or still like available and viable. They opt to do this thing. Oh, and then we had a blunder. Oops, you gave up a pawn. I guess is it gave up a pawn though? Gave up a pawn? Show the free piece. Show it to me. So D takes E. Queen to E7. Oh yeah, because I couldn't take it back. I really did not realize that that's the case here. What did you? Let's see what it wanted me to do. Could I? No, I couldn't. I couldn't take. There's no way. What should I just move back here? Maybe. No, that's still missed. Best option was to capture a pawn that was threatening to win material. I guess because yeah, it's with a tempo, and I could have gotten. What? No, what? Oh. Oh, because this is still on the table. That's still on the table. Okay, that makes sense. That's fine. But yeah, our opponent missed it too. Captured the free pawn, and then they missed this big the fork there in the center. And our opponent was playing pretty quickly, so you could chalk it up to them just playing too quickly to be able to see that tactic. They were making good moves, solid moves, and towards the end there, it got a little loose on both sides. So I totally understand that whole situation. But good game to our opponent. We got another win under our belt. We've been on a bit of a pretty decent winning streak. I want to see just real quick. I am going to. Yeah, where are my? Where are my? Because there's like a. I normally play on my phone, so I don't know where I'm looking. But yeah, stats. I just want to see. Because we've been playing pretty well, and I just want to kind of recap. Yeah, look at this. Look at. Wait, oh no, I was looking at the wrong side. I was just looking at all this green. We did have a loss somewhat recently, but the last since we picked this back up this year, so yeah, starting in March is when we did this. Started doing this again. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so yeah, 10 games. 9 out of 10. Definitely taking it, and definitely you can see like playing incredibly well in some of these. 96, 85, some 70s, but getting through it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to be a part of the journey, and we'll see you on the next one. Go get some sleep now. Bye bye.